Aloha! This is Robert from listwithrobert.com. Welcome to my channel and beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. For those of you who are stopping by my channel for the first time, my name is Robert and I am a real estate agent and real estate investor from Honolulu, Hawaii. Hawaii real estate market is on fire. We are seeing a huge influx of out-of-state buyers who are trying to buy properties here in Hawaii, and one of the reasons is because they are still working from home, and what better place to set up your home office than in Hawaii?
I apologize. Me?
If you are one of them or even thinking about moving to Hawaii, I have 10 things to consider before you move to Hawaii. But before we get started, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, because that's gonna alert you of every single new video I'm gonna be posting on my YouTube channel. I would love to bring these videos to you guys on a regular basis, but in order for me to do so, I need to grow my audience. Right now, my channel has about 50 subscribers, which is kind of sad, and my goal is to grow it to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So please make sure you subscribe. And now, without further ado, let's get started with the video. Number one thing to consider before you move to Hawaii is that Hawaii is the most secluded chain of islands in the whole entire world. And just across the ocean to mainland, it takes about 5.5-hour flight, and the cheapest ticket right now I could find was around $300. But before March 2020, the price tickets were more about $500. If you are planning to ship your car from mainland, make sure you put aside about $1,500. Here comes number two. Hawaii is not a cheap place to live. Most of the products are being shipped to Hawaii, and that's going to reflect on their prices. For most of you who are moving from mainland, the prices of the products will be very shocking. But if you are coming from major cities like New York, San Francisco, or LA, the prices are about the same. Real estate is not cheap in Hawaii either, and if you are planning to buy a single family home, in 2019, the average price of a single family home was right around $935,000. And if you are wondering what $1 million can buy you in Hawaii, I made a video which I linked up here and you can watch it later. Conclusion of number two, you don't want to come to Hawaii with empty pocket. Make sure you prepare yourself financially. Number three, there is a huge misconception about life and lifestyle in Hawaii. Most of the people picture themselves laying down on Waikiki Beach all day long, sipping Mai Tais and enjoying sun, fun, beach, ocean. But the reality of people living in Hawaii is very different. More than 50% have 2 or more jobs to support them and their families to be able to survive in Hawaii. And for the same job you did in mainland, you will most likely get paid less. Number four, Hawaii is hot. We do not have 4 regular seasons. We have 2 seasons, summer season, winter season, but it's more of a summer season, dry season, and winter season, rainy season. Average temperature is right around 80-85 degrees throughout the whole year.
Nice.
One would think that ACs are installed everywhere to keep you nice and cool. Well, the reality is that Hawaii residents do not use AC that much. One of the reasons is because Hawaii has the most expensive electric power in the entire nation. If you are planning to rent a place in Hawaii and planning to run AC 24/7, be prepared to get slapped with a fat bill. Number 5, the most popular word coming from Hawaii is aloha, but it is much more than just a regular greeting. It is the way you live your life, the attitude, and of course, hospitality of local people. Culture of aloha is deeply rooted in the local community, but Hawaii has also a dark history. So I would highly suggest you to find a time to study that history and past events. That way, you will definitely understand the local community much better. And since we touched on the subject of culture, here comes number 6. It is Pidgin English.
Other day, bro, the guy was talking to me, yeah, bro. So talking to me, talking too much, bro. You gonna go jail like that. But the guy was all stuff like that, bro. Tripping out, bro.
No way!
For real, bro.
And you might be asking, what is that? Well, it's a local slang. For me as a foreigner, it is really hard to understand, but I still enjoy it. And I'm guessing you as a native English speaker will be much better off. Pidgin English developed back in the days when agriculture was actually #1 industry in Hawaii. Big companies used to hire foreign workers to come and work on local plantation fields. And since their English was not that great, they started to mix up their own language into English. Some of the words stuck and are used since then. I'm gonna put some of these words down in the description of the video so you can take a look. Number 7, Hawaii is much more casual than mainland. If your employer doesn't have a dress code, you will most likely end up wearing slippers all day long. And by slippers, I mean flip-flops. That's how we call flip-flops in Hawaii. Also, it is part of the local culture and men's fashion to wear an aloha shirt. And what is that? Well, it's a collared dress shirt with Hawaiian prints on them. So if you want to blend into local culture, make sure you get one. Number 8, traffic. Not good, and it gotten worse past several years. Especially when you are in Honolulu area. If you are choosing where you're gonna live and stay in Hawaii, make sure you consider to stay as close to your workplace as possible because you don't want to spend 1 or 2 hours out of your day in traffic. Also, local driving style is much slower than compared to mainland. And one of the most popular way of transportation is by moped. It is probably the fastest way how to get around on the island. Number 9, be ready to store everything in the refrigerator. When you buy those expensive groceries, you don't want them to spoil really fast. You want to preserve them, and that's why many people store everything in the fridge. When you leave anything on the kitchen counter, it spoils really fast, and when you keep stuff open, bugs get into it very fast too. That's why most of the local families have 2 refrigerators. Number 10 is the thing which surprised me the most when I came visit Hawaii for the first time. There's a huge Asian influence in Hawaii. I was so surprised and shocked to see all the restaurant and store signs written in Japanese, Chinese, Korean, or any other Asian language you might think of. This translates into local cuisine, and many local people like to eat Asian food. They eat it with chopsticks, so be ready to master that. Me, coming from Europe, it wasn't the smoothest transition, but I survived. And that was my last tip, what to consider before you move to Hawaii. If you liked the video, please make sure you smash that like button and consider subscribing. Remember, I have that goal of 100 subscribers by the end of this year, 2020. Please help me out. Until the next time, aloha!